Hey everyone. Okay, so I am back. I am back. Oh my gosh, you guys. It has been crazy around here. It has been crazy. I will honestly tell you that. We went to Disneyland and we finally, all three of us got to go to Disneyland. It was spectacular. But then on Saturday, what ended up happening, well, Friday, we went Friday, and then Saturday on the way home, we went to my parents' house and celebrated Tim's belated birthday with my parents, and because we were on the cruise, and so they like having cake and ice cream and the song and lunch and stuff, and so we ended up going straight from LA to Los Banos. I don't have the paper pack for this. I was looking for it everywhere and I can't find it, but I believe it's Echo Park. I'm pretty positive it was Echo Park. So, but I can't find it, you guys. I cannot find anything right now. Oh my God, oh gosh, I'll tell you about that in a minute too. But, so anyway, so we, so then we went to Los Banos and it has been chaos ever since. We, came home, I think was, yeah, on our way home, and when we were in the front door, Tori ended up biting Talwyn because Talwyn was nipping at her, and well, Dory has more teeth, and so she got her ear bit, but we took care of it right away. That one's not our first rodeo, so that wasn't a big deal to do on our own. We didn't have to take her to the vet. Okay, so then that ended up happening, and then I think it was like this whole last 2 weeks has been nothing but vets, because Talwyn, she had some discharge coming out of her wee-wee, and this discharge looked weird, and so I'm friends with the vet tech. She's the one who adopted Sticks, the bulldog I was fostering. That's what we call it now. I was fostering, well, she's the vet tech for the for our vet, and so we became friends, and she's a young girl, and she is, this is the week we went to the cabin. I think this is our last cabin trip. I'm pretty sure this is our last cabin trip, and we will no longer be going to this cabin because the people who own it, they turned it into, not an Airbnb, but it does have like a manager and all that stuff, and you have to jump through hoops, and so now it's no longer through friends. Now it's through a company, and so we do not do that. We don't want to do that. So, no bueno. Oh well. So it was fun while it lasted. So, anyway, so I texted the pictures, because I go, this doesn't look right, you know, and, if you're a female woman, it looks right, you know, because we have all those fun things that happen to our bodies when we have children, and so, but it didn't look like right for her, and so I sent her the picture, and she, I sent her the picture the morning, and, she's all, doc said that she needs to have like emergency surgery, and so to bring her in, and so we were like, okay, and so we took her in, but he wanted to see her first. And so, so we took her in later on that afternoon, and you got to remember, it's an hour away from us, and it's blazing hot over here. It was in the hundreds, you know, it was 103 in Los Banos, and so we have to be careful with the fur babies. We took off 4 of them, because you can't leave one at home, you can't leave 2 at home, and you can't leave, well, you can leave 2 at home. You can leave 2 at home, but you can't leave 1 at home, and you can't leave 3 at home. Not really. And so it was like, okay, so let's just take all of them. So we did a road trip, and he evaluated her, and he goes, it's an infection, and so we're gonna have to do surgery. We're gonna have to do like exploratory surgery, so bring her in the morning. And it was like, okay, so bring her in. And then, so I said, okay, so we took her in the next, well, I took her in the next morning. Tim was at work. He's always at work. and so I just went and, actually he was home that day, but I had to bring her early, and he gets off at 8. And he doesn't get home till almost 9, so, and she had to be there at 9. So, I left without him, and I said, okay, well, plus I was going to stay at my mom's, because I was talking to the vet tech, who's a friend. And so she says, Joe, just stay at your mom's, because she should be done, you know, fairly quick. She'll probably be the first one in, and because everything else was just basically neuters and teeth cleaning and stuff, and hers was the major surgery. So she said, just, you know, hang around. So I hung around with my mom, you know, and so did that. So that was that's a perk, is that my parents live there and I can go to their house and be in the air conditioning. And so she ended up having, I make this chia oatmeal kind of stuff, and my whole family loves it, and so I ended up making that the morning of us being there. And so so then it was like, okay, so then we took her in for surgery. She had surgery, and so I went and picked her up, and so that's when you get told, you know, what's wrong. Well, this little girl, she's only 35 pounds. She's a mini bulldog. He showed me the video, because we're all close now. The vet and the vet tech, we're all close now. We are good. Like, if we went to their house for a party, don't be surprised, you know. So, because it's just, you know, we have formed a bond. And so so we went. So he took a video and he's showing me. He goes, because she is on. She's on some medication that helps her poop because she has birth defects. Her birth defect is so bad that she can't poop on her own, and it gets bottled up because her spine is like curved and squished. Well, it turns out that now because of her birth defect and her not being able to poop, she's given herself another hernia also. Plus, he found out while doing the surgery and looking at her organs that they're fused together. So her colon and her bladder are fused together. So usually they're separate. They're fused. Like, he would have to do major surgery to unfuse them. And so that her straining to poop, even though she's on a lot of medication, but unfortunately your body, you know, that's why doctors don't really want to give you too many antibiotics, because your body gets immune to things. So that's my level of love of s'mores. And so her body basically started becoming immune to her medicine. So it was like, okay, this all this stuff, you know, we have to deal with. And so she has a major infection. So it was like, okay, so he put her on, I need to give her another antibiotic. So she was on antibiotics, and it was like, okay, antibiotics, you know, things like that. Well, then she came home and she's been having nothing but problems peeing, and we started giving her enemas. So we give her enemas. We were giving her enemas every day, and then he says that he wants to that we have to find that perfect medium. He says because she can become immune to enemas also, which we have found that it might be so true, because she got an enema the other day and she didn't really poop a lot. And so so he wants her to have suppositories also. So we did a suppository last week, and we stuck it in her, and I found it later on, because I put it in her butt, and I found it later on whole on the ground. And I was like, okay, that didn't work. So trying to figure out how to keep it in her, that's the other fun part. And then she can also take stool softeners, you know, human stool softeners. So, okay, we gave her one of those. She didn't do anything. Then he says you can go physically in her butt and pull it out. And I'm not there yet, you guys. I am just not there yet. But I know for this little girl, my husband, that if it's between me and Tim, she kind of wants me to do it, because my finger is this big. His finger is about this big. So, yeah, if there's anyone who's going to have to do it, it's going to be me. And I'm like, I'm not there. So, yeah, let's just shove some more suppositories up her. Let's keep doing the enemas, you know. So, yeah, that, you know. So, but in the meantime, she was like, to me, she seemed like she was scared of peeing. So she started peeing in the house. And I'm like, this is why we changed all our house into hardwood. And we did vinyl, but it was waterproof. All in our, all in the family room, it's all waterproof vinyl. Our bedroom is all vinyl proof. So yeah. So because of this, because when you rescue, you bring home these babies who have been abused, neglected, not loved, not cared for, not in the house, so they're not house trained, so they come in hog wild, and so you're guaranteed to have pee and poop everywhere because they're not potty trained, even though they're 5 years old, because they've never known love. And so we changed the whole house to make it easier on ourselves, because you know it's disgusting when you have poop and pee on carpet, because you can never ever get it clean, and it's cheap. The waterproof vinyl is so cheap, and it's so worth it for sanitary reasons also, because you know I used to walk around barefoot all the time, and yeah, and then you just have that dirt and that yucky, you know, it's feces and pee, and no matter how you shake and no matter how much you sanitize and spray and everything, it's still there. So it's just cleaner, you know. And for me, who's a germaphobe, it's a peace of mind. It really is. And so I'm just, yeah, let me have the hardwood. And so, you know, so she started peeing everywhere, and that was like, oh my gosh. Well, then we learned the hard way not to give her enemas in the house and expect her to run outside. No, that wasn't happening either. So then we have waterproof covers all over our bed and all that stuff. So she ended up going and pooping on our bed. And that was like, oh my gosh. So this is what the cabin looked like on the counter. That's Matt's gun and Tim's gun and cell phones. And it's just hilarious. So we were very, very covered in the safety department here. And there's no kids in our house. So don't worry. There's no kids. All, you know, older people. And so, so yeah, so it was like, oh my gosh. So I called, and then I found pee residue on her wee-wee. So she had like a drip. It looked like a drip. I don't know. Shut up, Mandy. Drop, drip, whatever, pee. And so a blood on her wee-wee. And so it was like, okay, so now she's peeing blood. Great. Okay, so send a picture to my friend. And so she says, okay, bring her in. So brought her in, and he's like, okay. And then he opens up her, you know, little baby parts, and there's blood like caked in there. He goes, I can feel the poop in her. And so he goes, there's just too much poop. And I'm like, I know, but this isn't, you know. So then that's when he started talking about the suppositories and doing that stuff, and then giving her pumpkin, and we got to get her to poop, he says. So I said, yeah, okay. I mean, we're doing the best we can. So yeah, I understand. So let's get her to poop. But she has an infection still because she can't poop. And even though we gave her enemas and she had a pile, it didn't matter. It still has to be like twice a day now, because it's just she's just so backed up. And she's not like she eats a ton either, so it's not like, where's all this coming from? It's just because she's so tiny and she has such a little tummy, and so it's just backed up poop. And so I'm like, okay, so then we got suppositories, we're doing all that stuff, we're doing the best we can. And so oh, where am I going? I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. And so, so yeah, so then, so that was another whirlwind, right? And so we're dealing with that. And it was like, okay, what else can go wrong? You know, kind of thing. You know, it's like, why is this happening? You know, this poor little baby, and just feel so bad for her. And so, yeah, we give her an enema, and we hold her, give her enema, and then we take her immediately outside. We all stand, both my husband and I stand out if he's home. We stand outside, and we don't let her come in until she has her bowel movements, and that has worked out tremendously. So, oh, you guys. And so, yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now, and it's just so sad. And then, okay, and then today, this will probably be uploaded tomorrow. So today is Thursday, I don't know, the 9th or 10th. What happened yesterday? Something happened Tuesday. Oh, I had to go and do my doctor's appointment. So I went to my follow-up appointment for my colonoscopy and endoscopy, and he goes, yeah, you need another colonoscopy. I can't tell if you have cancer or polyps because you were too compacted. So I ended up having, I didn't have enough bowel movement myself. So I don't know. And I'm like, it has been a poopy July and a start of a poopy, no, it was all poopy July. And then a poopy start of August. Yes, there we go. So I'm like, we are all full of it. And so now I have to do it again. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And not only that, I have to start prepping a week before my appointment by doing Miralax. And then I have to 2 days before I have to start, before my procedure, I have to start doing the medicine. And I have to have 2 gallons. 2 gallons, you guys. You know how hard it was with 1 gallon? Hard. And yeah, so hard. So hard that I'm like, oh my gosh. So I have to do it again. And I'm like, okay, fine. You know, it's you know, I preach just do it, right? And I'm preaching just do it. And so I'm going to just do it. But darn it, I'm like over it. I am so over it. So, yeah. And so I went to that on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we went to my mom, and we have a good friend. We all quilt together, and you've seen her in some of my photos, and you'll see her more in my photos when I get to this year, in next year. So you'll see this year's photos next year. I promise you that. And so yeah, so I was stitching. I let Tim drive, and I was stitching the whole time that we went to the cabin, and boy, you guys, that was nirvana. It was nirvana. It really was. So I just, it was so easy for me. It was so nice just to be able to, you know, not worry about what's happening, to drive, you know, and not worry about his driving because he sucks at it. And yeah, but so that was really nice. So I just stitched, and it was fun. So fun, you guys. And that's what I did today. So anyway, so yesterday, both that friend and then my mom and I, we went to Los Banos. Well, Irene and I went to Los Banos, met up, got my mom, and we went to a guild meeting. So if you know what guild meetings are, or guild, it's a quilting guild. I used to be in our local one years ago before I quit quilting, and I loved it. And it was so welcoming. Those people were so welcoming. And then so we went yesterday, and those people were so welcoming. And you know what? It's so nice because, I mean, not a woe is me, but I always get treated like crud. I do. Whenever I go somewhere, I get treated like crud. Like, why are you here? Like, shouldn't you, you know, like just stereotypical stuff. And it's just, sometimes it gets a little, yeah, a little sad for me. Because I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I'll never lie, cheat, or steal. And they've already judged me, and because of how I look. And I just, it's so frustrating sometimes. And so, and it's a little bit of a downer sometimes. And so, yeah. But it was so nice to walk in there, and everybody greeted us. Everybody did a tour of the facilities. And it was so welcoming, you guys. It really was. So, those were our... Sorry. I'm talking too much. I haven't talked this much in a long time. Sorry. And so yeah, so then so I was in Los Banos yesterday, and it was, you know, the devil's butthole is what that place is. Because it is like 100 degrees every damn day, and I'm like, oh my god, I hate it. I hate it. And so but we did that, and then we got back probably by like 1, I think it was. And by that time, I'm exhausted. This diabetes stuff, you guys, is kicking my butt. It's making me so tired. Either my sugar's too high or it's too low. And I'm just tired all the time. So when I go for my doctor's appointment this month, I gotta tell her I need help, because I'm tired all the time, you guys. Just so tired. And this is just them too, because their Kit Kat had already passed, and we hadn't adopted the girls yet. And so, so yeah, so then, I am just rambling, aren't I? And so, and then, I bet these, I always love when the closed caption comes on and I read, because sometimes I read the closed captions on some videos, depending on if I have my headphones and Tim's home or not, and I'm like, all I see is so here you go, closed caption. And I don't mean to, but it's just, you know, get a million things in my head, and oh my gosh, trying to keep it all on track, you guys. Woo, yeah, a little bit on the hard side. And but anyway, so then that happened yesterday, which was Wednesday, which is 2 days ago now, right? When this video goes up. And then today, which is Thursday, we or yesterday, this is Thursday. How does that work? Yes, it works that way, right? We went to Roseville. So Irene drove, our friend Irene drove, and we, it was my mom, Irene, and myself, and she has a minivan, and we went to Roseville today for a craft, it was a craft and quilt show, and honestly, it was all quilt show, so that was really cool, because we were expecting, it not to be crafty, you know, or we were expecting it to be crafty and not all quilts, but it was actually all quilts, so that was really cool, and so that was today, and that was a lot of work, and it's 3 hours away from where we live, and we met up with my mom. My dad dropped my mom off for us, and that was cool, so we didn't have to go all the way to her house, and we met like in the middle is basically where it was. But so we are 3 hours away from there, and we went and had breakfast first, and then we took off over there, and we spent 3 hours. So we shopped for 3 hours, then we went out to lunch at Lazy Dog, and I guess it's a chain, and it was so delicious, you guys. So this right here, let me tell you about this. I probably won't remember but my story, but hold on. So hopefully I will. So the kids, we have so much fun with these kids. We really do. They pull us out of our comfort zone a lot of the time. And this time they brought a game, because they play games. They are all about games. And it's just them two, and they love just chilling, and sometimes they'll invite their friends over and they'll have game night and stuff, and it's really cute. But Tim and I have never been into games. I don't know if it's because we're not fun people. I don't know. But the kids brought a game, and they're like, let's play. And we're like, okay. So we were playing, and we were laughing our butts off, you guys. We were laughing so hard, and it was so fun, and they just make things so fun. You know, it's love. I'll tell you right, if you have young kids right now, as long as you're not a jerk and they grow up without blaming you or becoming drug addicts or alcoholics or anything like that, hence blaming you for their problems, you will end up being best friends with them, and it is the best feeling ever. So be patient, know it will happen, and it will be amazing when you connect with them finally. And Cheyenne's 30 years old, and she's my oldest, and she is just, we have so much fun together now, you guys, so much fun. So things do get better. They do get better as long as you work on it, and it's a work. You both have to work. So, you know, it's not just going to fall into place. You need to both work, and we're there, and it's super sweet, and it's super cool. And I get to, so that so that's what we did today, and we got home at 4:30. I got up at 5 a.m. Got to her house, you know, got dressed, got all that stuff, got everything situated here, and got to her house at 5:45 in the morning. She lives like 2 miles away from me, and then we drove to my mom, and then and then it was like, okay, cool. Well, it's gonna turn off real quick, and then yeah, it's gonna turn off. Remember I told you I started rereading these. So we got to we got to where we met up with my mom. Then it's gonna be a long video, sorry guys. And so we so anyways, we got home at 4:30. I took a nap because I was dead tired. I was so tired, you guys. And then tomorrow, which is today, I am going with Cheyenne. She wants to go to Savers, and yeah, so we're gonna go do that. And I haven't had a break, you guys. I haven't had a break at all. And then Saturday, I'm going to Gilroy and meeting up with my mom because the book sale's happening in that town. And so I'm meeting up with my mom and I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys. So, and then Sunday, you guys, Sunday is my day. Sunday is the day I am staying home. Honestly, just staying home. And I need that. I need that so badly. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am not complaining, but I'm complaining. So, because I am a homebody and I have not been home. I've either been in Los Banos at the vet, taking care of these guys, or in Roseville, or in Gilroy, or in San Jose, and I am just done, you guys. Cook me already. I am done. Uh-oh, this was supposed to go. That was supposed to go underneath there. So you know what we'll do is we will improvise. So that is supposed to go there. And yeah, oh here, I have this. Let me just do this, you guys. So I'll keep talking, you know. So yeah, so that is what's been going on. And I am just tired. And okay, so we changed our PG&E. We changed our PG&E plan because now we have the Tesla, right? So we have to, you know, charge in the house and charge it, and so we changed our plan, and now we can't do laundry or turn on the AC from 3 to midnight. You guys, I have not been home, so I have not been able to wash clothes. And I'm like, I need to wash clothes. And I can't. And so I'm like, what in the world do I do? I'm like, how? I told Tim, I go, how do people do it when, you know, who work all day long and only get home at, you know, 5 o'clock? How does that work for them? How are they able to do laundry? Because this is just crazy. I didn't realize this was, I just caught it. Yep, it's okay. And so, oh my gosh, props to you guys, because I am just like, how am I supposed to do this? And I have no clue. So I'm like, I have been up at midnight, but I personally don't like running, because my husband's a fireman. We don't run our, you know, dryer at night, you know, while we're sleeping. Even though it's a new washer and dryer. And I don't think I've gotten to that yet, but yeah, so our 6-year-old washer and dryer broke. It's just ridiculous, you guys, on how stuff does not last anymore. You know, the olden days, when we used to have those, you know, washer and dryers for like 25, 30 years, that is no longer a viable option. It is no longer a thing. It is a thing, well, it's a thing of the past. Because now they only last 6 years, because how are they supposed to make money if you're replacing your washer and dryer 25 years from now? Well, they can't, you know, so they make it where they only last so long. And so yeah, so anyway, so I don't personally like drying stuff when we're sleeping. It's too dangerous. And so I haven't done that either. And then I told Cheyenne, though, I said I want to be home by 1 though. Because where we live, the traffic sucks and it takes hours and hours to get home. So if you're after like 1 o'clock, and I don't want to spend my Friday in traffic road raging, I really don't. It's not what I really want my night to go like. So we're going to try and avoid that. So yeah, so we're going to get all our stuff done in the morning. So this is me trying to build a scenery right here, you guys. So sorry it's taken so long, but at least I get to talk to you. So, but yeah. So anyway, so that is what is going on in my world, and it is crazy. It is honestly just flat out crazy. And yeah, so that is what is happening. So tomorrow I'm going to go buy more suppositories. And then the ones that, suppository, no, I have suppositories. I need to go buy stool softeners. Yeah, that's what I need to buy her, is stool softeners, because we only had like one left in our cupboard. So I have to go buy her more tomorrow, so which is fine. This poor little girl, she's been through so much. And it's just not fair. It really isn't fair for them. But yeah, at least she's here being loved. She is loved on. She is wanted. So she is good. It's all good. We'll take care of her. It's just she's only 2.5, you guys. You had her almost a year now. Yeah, almost a year. Not, I think October. Well, yeah, October should be the year. So, which I think, I don't know. I think we're getting here closer to October in here. Because I like I said, I have 3/4 of another one done. This one is week 39. So 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So 44, I have just enough. Ash is having a nightmare. So Dory has sympathy growls with him. So yeah, so I'm working on stuff when I can, but it's, and then we just went to the show, so then before this video I'll have the unboxing, or I'll have of what I bought, and I'm like, I am overwhelmed with stuff that I have been buying, you guys. Overwhelmed, because I just fit it all in. It's all mishmash, I know, I'm sorry, but it is mishmash, but I wanted all of it. I wanted all of that in there, so, and, let me say thank you to Barbara Haish and Scrappin' Alley. Thank you, ladies, so much for leaving me comments. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this layout, though. This layout made me smile. I got to use my little gnomes from Photoplay. And, yeah, you guys, just a little overwhelmed on everything I've been buying, and that has been really hard on me, too. That's been tiring, and so I'm just... yeah, in Scrappin' Alley, I totally put away my stuff too, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just buried in fabric, and I love it. I love it, but I am overwhelmed. So, all right, guys, love you guys. I'm not gonna promise you anything, but I'm hoping to be back this week, this weekend. What is today? Well, today is Friday, right? Not really. It's Thursday, but well, you know what I mean. Let's see if I'll be back. I want to try, because I got to get these layouts out off of the counters. Alright guys, take care. Anyways, blah 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 blah. Have fun, closed caption. Bye guys.